Okay. So when I first entered medical school and first was going through the application process, I had no idea that I would one day become interested in psychiatry. It really wasn't until my second year of medical school when I took a class called The Mind and got some real in-depth exposure to the field that it really caught my attention, and I just was absolutely fascinated by the material. So after that, in our dual degree program, we can complete one of our third year clerkships longitudinally while we're finishing up our graduate degree. And so I chose to do my psychiatry clerkship throughout a year. And I really just fell in love with the field. The patient population, the cases that you get are like no other field, as I'm sure med students would know. And I feel like it's something that I could really get enjoyment out of long term. And so I think what I would say to other students as to why to enter psychiatry, for one, there's a huge need, especially with child and adolescent psychiatry, which is what I'm interested in. So if you're looking to do something where they really need you, this is a huge field. Also, work-life balance is something that you can really get with psychiatry that you can't get with other specialties. And then, as I mentioned, the cases, if you're interested in kind of hearing people's stories kind of all day long and really getting wrapped into not just the medical part of their lives, but socially and culturally, all of that, you can really kind of dive in. And I think that just holds people's interest, at least it holds mine. So there's some things I would say that maybe to attract people to the US. Unfortunately, there definitely is a stigma surrounding mental health. I think over the years, it's on its way to getting better, but it still is a major issue. I think one reason why it continues to be such a huge thing is that, within the US, we have a significant immigrant population. And so more so than within US culture, but with other cultures, mental health is completely stigmatized. And so then when families are transitioning here into the States, they carry that with them. So I think as healthcare professionals and medical students and residents, the biggest things that we can do would probably be three things. The first one being spreading awareness regarding kind of what mental health is and why it's something that needs to be addressed. Another thing is education, which goes hand in hand with promoting the awareness of mental health and the need for treating mental health disorders. And then the third thing is providing access to quality care. I think another reason why it's stigmatized is that quality care is hard to come by. And so if we can really work towards providing access to quality care, that can really help to combat this stigma. So those would probably be the three key things we could work to do. Okay, so SNMA, I first got involved with SNMA just as a general member during my first year of medical school. And I felt like it provided a sense of community, which was huge for me. I am attending medical school in a different state than where I was born and raised. And the whole medical school rat race is kind of a very foreign and it can be a competitive type environment, and with the state that I'm in, it was kind of hard for me to kind of relate to some of my peers. But SNMA was like kind of a breath of fresh air where I could find people that I can relate to and that I could, kind of build a family with. So it was really a backbone that kind of has helped me progress through this whole crazy medical school journey. And then jumping into a leadership role, especially being on the board of directors, just really continued to solidify that and just expanded the community. Getting to work with people at other institutions and other states has been really neat, and I've been able to connect with different people, which has been fantastic. So I think that the core is that SNMA, and then jumping into leadership with within SNMA, has provided this family and support system that I probably would not have performed as well if I didn't have it through my med school journey. Okay, so first of all, if you're not interested in psychiatry and you don't know what you're interested in yet, I would highly recommend looking into psychiatry, because I think many people are surprised with the connection that they may have or may develop with the field. So I think it's an area that is not, one of the most popular for medical students to kind of enter, although that is increasing exponentially with each match. But definitely look into it, because I think that there's really something for everyone. It's a very diverse field, and there's a lot of options for what you can kind of do career-wise that you definitely cannot do in a lot of other specialties. So advice for applying into the field. So I just applied last week, and I think key things are that they really want to match residents who have showed a long-term interest in the field. So definitely applying for grants and participating in different programs that show that you're committed and interested in the field is something that's huge and really will make an application shine. Also, different organizations like the APA, the AACAP, which is Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, they have a lot of great travel grants, fellowship programs, all sorts of things for med students, especially underrepresented minorities in medicine. So apply for those. You'll likely get them, and those are huge for your CV when it comes to applying. And then, of course, as with any specialty, you really want to focus on your grades, make sure that those are good, make sure that you're getting great evaluations, and honors if your school has those, not just within psychiatry, but in the other fields as well, because they want to see a trend that you can communicate well with patients, not just psychiatric patients, but any type of patients, because, depending if you subspecialize or just do general psychiatry, of course, you'll be dealing with patients from, all fields of medicine. And then boards, of course, are important. Psychiatry, anecdotally, the boards aren't as important as, say, like dermatology and orthopedics, but as it's becoming more competitive, of course, boards are important. So focusing on your studies probably goes without saying that, but showing commitment to the field is probably the biggest thing that you can do.